till George Washington decided to step down after 2 terms because he feared he might die in office and Americans would then view the presidency as a lifetime appointment. Washington stepping down voluntarily after 2 terms was a defining part of his legacy, in the best possible way. Ironically, he probably would have lived longer had he taken a 3rd term. Till that during World War II the average recruit was 5'8" tall and weighed 144 pounds. During basic training, they gained 5 to 20 pounds and added an inch to their 33-1/4 chest. I have my grandfather's enlistment papers from when he went into the Marines at 18. He was 5 feet 11 inches and weighed 151 pounds. He always said he gained 20 pounds by the time he finished basic, and had never eaten so much in his life. Ironically, he grew up on a farm, but they had to sell most of their crops to afford the basics. What the U.S. Armed Forces recruitment saw during World War II lent in part to the federal school lunch program. Recruit health and malnourishment was such a big issue it led to reforms during and after the war on both sides of the pond. The NHS was partly created to ensure the improved general health of the population. In the US, not a few recruits experienced 3 square meals a day and just getting a new pair of shoes for the first time in their life. Not to mention dental care and so many other things we take for granted. A lot of the guys in my unit at basic training complained about losing weight because we weren't lifting. Just a lot of marching, running, and calisthenics. I wasn't at all an athlete or gym rat, so I lost 15 pounds of fat. Most guys were in one of those 2 camps, losing weight either way. Only a few guys were scrawny and actually bulked up. That was in 2011. My grandpa was 6 feet 2 inches-ish and 280 pounds. He enlisted but there weren't uniforms his size. They put him and others like him on a low-calorie diet. He didn't get small enough. He got an honorable discharge. Till Joel Tenenbaum was successfully sued by the major music labels for illegally downloading and sharing 30 of their songs. A jury ordered him to pay $675,000, or $22,000 per song, which led to him file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2015, with the judge discharging the $675,000 judgment in 2016. Hey, I know him. Joel is a teacher now, I worked with him for a number of years. Good dude. Does not want to talk about this story? The judge was just done with everyone in this case too. You have intruders in your house and are heavily armed and prepared. What song do you tell Alexa to play? Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads. Why can't we be friends? Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim, for the lols. Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Don't Stop Me Now. Especially if they're undead. Till a UK trial of a 4-day work week with 61 companies was so successful that 54 kept it, and most made it permanent. Employees worked less but stayed just as productive, with some companies seeing revenue grow by 35%. Workers also reported better health, less burnout, and even losing weight. I'd be so mad if I worked at one of the 7 companies that scrapped it after getting a taste of it. It's almost like having happy employees makes them more invested in doing good work and being loyal to the company. American CEOs, so we can reduce our pay by 20% but keep our productivity. I think it mainly shows how much time an office worker spends doing bullshit tasks that don't really need to be done. Probably a bunch of stuff people were asked to do didn't get done and it made no difference, or because the boss was also working 4 days they didn't have time to ask for it in the first place. Till in 1941, prior to widespread fluoridation of drinking water, almost 10% of us military recruits were rejected because they didn't have 6 opposing teeth in their upper and lower jaws. My great-grandma helped raise my little brother and me, and remember her freaking out if we tried to open a bag of chips in our teeth, chewed on a pencil, anything like that. It only made sense to me as an adult that she was literally older than fluoridated water. My grandfather got rejected for service in World War II for his teeth. He got them fixed and was able to enlist. Spent the war fixing airplanes on an island somewhere in the Atlantic. I'm just here for the DR. Strange love references. Till every person who has become a centibillionaire, a net worth of usually $100 billion, 100 billion euros, or 100 billion pounds, first became one in 2017 or later except for Bill Gates who first reached the threshold in 1999. Gates is funny because he could have done nothing at that point and become the first trillionaire. All these net worth lists are useless when dictators and royal families are deliberately excluded. These rugged bootstrappers obviously love challenges, and we've clearly made things too easy for them. It can't be that rewarding for them anymore. We should put say a 99% wealth tax at $1 billion. Then being a centi-billionaire will actually mean something again. Till that Sikh temples can provide a free meal, a safe place, or a temporary shelter if you're ever in need. Anyone can visit the temple irrespective of their native language, sexual orientation, or religious beliefs, and they will never try to convert you. Yes, but please don't show up drunk/on drugs and keep political discussion out of the temple. Part of the reason Sikh wear their distinctive head cover is so that they are known immediately. They want people to know where they are and who they can go to for help under any circumstances. Being a beacon for help is a lot more badass than being willing to hurt someone. Note that Los Angeles has a decently sized Sikh population if people there are still in need of help. Sikhs are cool people. The Sikh kept me fed in college. Every Thursday they showed up with so much food for us college kids. Lovely people. Why are so many young men feeding into this red pill narrative? As someone who deals with mental health problems, all I can say is that when you feel neglected and someone gives you even a modicum of attention or validation, you will do anything for that person. All these men feel as though society undervalues them. I can't say for certain whether this is true, but if they have spent enough time on the internet as I have, they look at all of it with tunnel vision. You see a lot of the reason here in these comments. A lot of people feel beat down and like these options are their only salvation. They're often hopeless and lost. And then people see this in threads like this and come in to say, oh well, they're obviously weak and stupid. As a non-smoker, does every smoker smell bad to you? Yes. As a teacher, I can tell which students have parents who smoke. The smell permeates everything. I'm so sorry, but yes. We can smell it. And it's bad. Yes. The smell is so strong and gross. Till F1 driver Kimi Räikkönen nearly bankrupted the Lotus team by being too good. His contract said that he would be awarded €50,000 for every championship point scored. Lotus thought their car would be so uncompetitive that year that it would not be a problem. Kimi went on to score 207 points. It was even more severe. He scored 390 points in 2 seasons, so Lotus owed him €19.5 million. In Räikkönen's biography it states that he never received all the money because the team couldn't pay him. He eventually dropped charges as he didn't want the team to go bankrupt, but he left Lotus and signed for Ferrari in 2014. He did forfeit most of it to make sure other people were not laid off. It would be funny if he forgot about that clause in his contract and at the end of the season was told he made $10,350,000 and that he may be taking down Lotus Racing in the process. Till that giving poop of people that have depression to rats, gives them anxiety and depression. There are several studies about how gut microbiome has a direct impact with brain and behavior for acute and chronic illnesses and diseases. Can't speak for this rat study, but it's already well established that there is a link between your brain and microbiome. Lots of jokes and the post is getting downvoted, but it's really interesting how much of our behavior is determined by stuff like this. Eat a happy person's ass. Got it? Thank you, science. Or maybe giving poop to rats is depressing. Till Tasmanian devils give birth to between 30 and 40 offsprings, but the mother only has 4 teats. The first 4 to attach to teats survive, the others perish. That seems common among marsupials. American possums have up to 25, but only 13 teats. For most of us, the image of the Tasmanian devil has been affected by the Bugs Bunny cartoons, but they are really fascinating animals. It seems they're developing immunity from the terrible disease that has nearly wiped them out. That seems horribly inefficient. You'd think that she would either evolve to have more teats, or fewer babies. Tasmanian devils turn birth into nipple Olympics. 30 babies, 1 finish line, and only 4 gold medals. The losers don't even get silver, they get a front row seat to their siblings' milk buffet. Fuck me, man, nature is cruel. Imagine going through the effort of creating 30 babies from scratch, then being like, the 4 fastest get milk, and the rest of you, well, you're looking like tomorrow's protein shake, nom nom nom, grinning face with smiling eyes. WTF. Damn. Why do Americans say, I'm from city/state, instead of USA? A bit like when I say I'm from the UK, followed by Scotland, the invariable question that follows UK is where in the UK. I'm currently traveling abroad and had this exact experience multiple times. I realized within a few moments of interaction and speaking that the other person knows I'm an American, so when they ask where I'm from, I don't need to say US, I say my city. Was surprised yesterday when I answered Kansas City and the gentleman, working in Spain but from Nigeria, inquired Kansas or Missouri. I thought that was pretty cool. Because what part, is the next question, and we have faith in your geography skills. Till in 1993 Donald Wyman amputated his left leg below the knee with a pocket knife after it got stuck under a large tree during a logging accident where he bled profusely for an hour and feared he'd die. However, he was even able to keep his leg after firefighters retrieved it and surgeons reattached it. I'd still be under the tree. I would throw my leg such a massive welcome home party. People would kick themselves for not attending. Like and subscribe.